Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka E-Drive, bring you guys my GBA
Swarm PRs. I kind of missed the beginning. I did not realise it came so quickly. Okay, it's time to start the PRs
That's
now.
perfect.
It's time to
Okay,
start
so
the
we have
PRs.
the Swarm Season 2 Poised Draft Power Rankings.
Poised?
Poised, yes.
Poised?
Okay, this is going fantastically already. So, we can move on to the number 16 person, or Dark Soul. They have a team of Cinderace, Mega Blastoise, Toxapex, Corsola, Golor, Chansey, Latios, Flapple, Obstagoon, Crustle, and Doublade. Doublade and Ditto. My bad. So, this team is pretty bad because it has like no synergy at all.
Mega Blastoise.
Yeah, there's round 1 Cinderace, which is not Librio or Libero. I don't know how the hell you say it.
Libero.
Bro, imagine you be able to speak English. Unbelievable.
Shut up.
You haven't even introduced anyone.
Okay,
Hello,
also
it's
Mega
Zach Moss.
Blastoise
Hello.
cannot use Shell Smash, so it's also pretty bad. Corsola is pretty bad because everything gets like knockoff and toxic as well. So it's like really passive.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a weird timing for most of these. Could have gotten way better picks for one. And yeah. I mean, it's just bad. Can't really say much. It's just bad.
Yeah,
There's no real grass type either.
Yeah, it's just
Flapple does not really
Flapple.
count.
Yeah, like ground types eat this team up. I think like good dark types. I think it's going to resist his Doublade.
I mean,
Uh,
Mega
so
Blastoise can
Good dark
take
types,
hits from
Doublade.
bounce.
Doublade is a dark type.
No. Oh, sorry.
I can't believe you've just said that.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Can't
No,
believe
I've.
No, I think Mega Blastoise is going to take some hits so, from ground types, but it's not reliable.
Talking about ground types, there is no ground type on this team as well. So that
Yeah,
means
so
electro
types
types have
just
been
Dark Souls-
exactly.
Dark
Yeah,
Souls
yeah,
just
yeah.
making use of different power loss, so nobody uses electros anymore.
Capitalizing on the hidden power loss exactly.
He's very. That's a big
Wait,
IQ player.
Jeremy, you're really quiet. Let me turn you up.
Okay.
I don't believe you're meant to say that during the recording shows. I think
No,
that's
it's fine.
very
It's fine.
unprofessional.
They'll just see my Discord for like 5 seconds and me turning up the volume. There we go.
Okay, very nice. I also think
They'll
his
just see my
speeds
name.
are a bit all over the place. Like he has a lot of like really slow mob, and he sort of has like no like real middling speeders besides like Mega Blastoise and Flapple. What's Flapple's speed?
70.
Yeah, so that's not really great.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw this team, what I said was it's like half the mons are stall and half of them are like hyper offense, so it just doesn't work at all. It just doesn't match.
Nah, bro, it's chancy offense.
It's like
Yeah,
it's like I don't know. There's Chansey, Toxapex, Corsola, which by the way, this team loses to knockoff spam. He has like two
completely.
2 Eviolite ghost types, a Chansey, so 3 Eviolite mons. Ditto doesn't want its scarf getting knocked off. Latios doesn't want it knocked off. Cinderace doesn't want its boots knocked off. It's like really annoying for this team to switch into knockoff other than Mega Blastoise and Toxapex. And then both of those just lose to T-Bolt, which this entire team kind of just loses to T-Bolt, other than Latios, I guess.
Chansey is a Pokemon.
Yeah, I think like the reason Corsa's Gallo is really good in like Gallo decks is because there's like barely anyone to get knockoff or toxic, but because that's like way more spread out here, I feel like he's gonna have a really hard time like making that mon like shine as such.
He just took a lot of his mons just early, and then meanwhile he got like round fucking 6 Latios, so that's a bit weird.
Yeah, the Latios was actually pretty good for that round, but everything else is
Yeah.
pretty mediocre, to be honest. Obstagoon is
It-
perfect, by the way.
It basically just looked like he just picked ones he wanted to use, like Cinderace round 1, Blastoise round 2, probably not the best. Well, it's actually Cinderace pick 2, without
pick 2 round
Libero.
1.
I mean, he still got Obstacle, which is good. Obstacle is like a really good breaker.
Yeah,
Like
it's
every-
good.
like
It's
every
fast,
single move
it's
in the game.
bulky. Yeah, it's good. I don't know. There's like not many good redeeming qualities about this team. There's a lot of
round
shared
was it
weaknesses.
round 6 Latios is really good.
That's about it, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah,
shared
and the Ditto can
weaknesses.
save it.
There's a lot of
Ditto can save it
passive
at times.
shit. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like Blastoise is always going to come as removal because Latios is really pressured to run the offensive sets because his
Also-
offense is just way too weak here.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just really bad. It's like, when your offense is Flapple, Obstagoon, Latios, this is not looking good. I guess Cinderace as well. Just not...
But I think Corsola gets
Not a good
Carmine. I'm
look.
not sure what you're talking about. Carmine
Oh.
strengths up Corsola. Go
Oh,
lawful.
yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's just literally not anything to this team that can really help it.
Yeah,
It's kind of hard.
it's not good.
You know what would really help this team? A slacking.
A slaking, exactly. Slaking
So
over that Flapple
slaking
pick.
literally makes it worse because it's the
No,
same
no,
mod
no,
as
no, no.
Obstagoon, but it's worse. Slaking is just a worse Obstagoon in every way.
Slaking over Flapple makes 2 billion% sense to me. Like, if he
No,
made that
it's just
trade,
worse
what a god.
Obstagoon in every way. Shut.
Watch your language, please.
My apologies, George.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm just a little flustered on how much you butchered the intro, Argonauts.
What do you mean?
Okay, I think we're good
Anyway,
to move on to
next.
number 15,
Yeah,
which
next.
is Jeff. Or no. That's Ball.
It's Ball.
Ball.
Watch it.
Whoopsie. Okay, we got Phalanx marching. So, Aggro, do you want to name off the team this time?
So, Bull has Excadrill, Clefable, Tyranitar, Duraludon, Poltegeist, Appleton, Bulbeetle, Agent Inteleon, Surfetch'd, Boltund, and Mr. Phalanx himself.
Mr. Phalanx himself.
So first off, you can immediately see this guy got sand with Clefable, which is already really good. Starts off way better than you know, 60 or it's the 16th slot in
Dark Souls.
Dark Soul. You also got a few new Pokemon. Actually, a lot of new Pokemon.
He got like
I believe
his
every
entire
Pokemon
team.
is from Scolodex, sorry.
Literally 3
Anyway,
of his mons aren't new.
Okay, sorry. I can't count. Okay, leave me alone. Duraludon is a bit bad for
Yeah,
it to go that early, but Poltegeist is pretty good, I guess.
Poltegeist is pretty bad. Gonna be honest.
I mean,
it's like it gets
for
no
so- I
coverage.
mean,
It's better on ladder than it is in draft, for sure.
I think
it's also
gonna
better
be terrible.
versus. It's also better versus Tards, and we're in the third division.
Is it? I don't know. Most people drafted Dark type.
Yeah, but not all those dark types can, like, some of them are really frail, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Podcast will have some matchups where it can go in.
Again, like Crocodile.
But it's
will be
like
fine,
super
for example.
matchup dependent, really.
It's like Minior. Like if you draft, it's like drafting Minior round 5. You wouldn't do that.
That
guess.
thing's a tier 1 in my opinion.
Anyway,
okay.
Appleton is really underrated.
Appleton is broken,
It's pretty
but
underrated.
it's kind of weird when he already had a Dragon type. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
It's a nice ground resist, because
They-
otherwise
they do
this
other
team only
things.
has Orbital to resist ground,
Big
outside of
beat.
Appleton.
they do other things at least. The dragon.
Yeah, I suppose.
Orbeetle.
Does
Does
Two
he,
things
does
that
he
could
not
be
have
said.
a ground immunity?
No.
No, he's only got 2 resists,
He
Orbital and
also has
the
like,
Apple.
he has Surfetch'd and Phalanx, which feels pretty redundant to me. Like I guess they do kind of different things, but they're just both physical, pure fightings that are slow and kind of bulky.
I think
Yeah,
Surfetch is a lot
the
better.
Yeah,
The thing
Surfetch'd
with
is a
this
lot better.
team as well, like why is there an Orbeetle? Like Orbeetle as a defensive one is good, but the webs doesn't really help or anything.
Yeah, I
wanna,
mean,
like,
I guess
look at webs, but you know, it's still
Duraludon
why.
and Poltegeist aren't that bad. Also, Duraludon is misspelled. Acronauts.
I wonder who did that.
You literally did that. That was literally you.
I don't recall it, actually.
Anyways, Boltund is a cool Pokemon. It's a bad zero aura, but I don't think it's really that bad to be a bad Zoro, if I'm being real.
It's really
It's a
bad.
balance absolutely.
I don't
It's
agree
really
with him
bad.
getting that with Inteleon because the speed tier is really bunched.
No,
Yeah, the
Bolton
They're,
speed
is
is
they're
also
two
one.
really fast Pokemon,
Bolton
and it
cannot-
goes down to Orbital.
It can't touch
afterwards.
a single ground type. Like, it's so bad. If it had Grass Knot or Ice Fang, I think it would be okay, but it's so bad. I don't know.
Like, even though he has sand, I feel like his team's still pretty slow overall.
No, I don't think I agree with that if I'm honest.
I mean,
because he has
without
webs,
sand,
he has 2 base 120s, he has sand. I think he can control
Like,
his team.
outside, like, I'm talking about, like, natural speed, though. Not, like...
Yeah,
Well, forcing speed tiers is not amazing because between Orbital and Inteleon, you've got nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so
Yeah,
many
I
things.
mean, even with that, I still
Right.
think he can control the speed fine with sand and webs and 2 base 120s. I think it's okay. It's not ideal, obviously, but I think he can manage.
A couple of other things I've noticed. I think he's really, really very weak.
Yeah, he is. Very
His
fair.
only resist is the extra draw, and he's like a lot of monsters which are like weak to it. So I think it's Tita, Appleton, and the 2 fighting types which are weak to fairy. Also, his removal is pretty meh. It's Surf Edge and extra draw, and I also think that Hazard Stack can really cause a lot of issues for this team
Does
because
Orbeetle
he
not
also
get-
doesn't have a grounded.
Orbital doesn't.
poison? I thought Orbital got defogged, my bad. Okay. I mean, then
He
yeah,
also
that
doesn't have a
works.
grounded poison, so
Yeah,
Team
grounded
Spikes.
poison. I don't know. Also, I could see him being kind of dark weak. Maybe not, because he has both the fightings. But like those,
he also has a
Aren't-
Clefable.
he has a
Yeah,
clef
that's
type,
what I
but like I don't know. Most darks have coverage for those. So like, but everything else kind of just dies to it with like Orbital, Poltegeist, and so. And like Inteleon dies to any hit.
Yeah, I can also see a Ghost type with Focus Blast being a huge issue for this team.
So like
I think-
Gengar.
Yeah,
And they're
basically.
looking like a
I think he's
threat.
only Tita. if I'm not
Also,
mistaken.
the only ice resist is Inteleon, which is not
That's
which is
that
not
thing
ideal. Appleton has thick fat, I guess, but that's
Appleton
not a
is the
resist.
only weakness, so that's not that bad.
But
yeah,
still,
exactly.
if you're coming up against a Curin, it can just spam like Specs Ice Beam on
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I mean, so what, his rockers are just like Excadrill, Clef, T-Tar, and that's it. And Duraludon.
And
Duraludon.
Duraludon.
as well.
Yeah.
So just the first 4, that's fine. There's no other hazard though, there's no spikes or T-spikes that I can see, which kind of is annoying. I think spikes would have been good with this team. Because if he's winning the Hazard War, then maybe he could go for like a Defiant Phalanx, no retreat sweep. If they try to
Yeah, like-
defog, but I don't know. It's tough.
I feel like with a few transactions, this team could actually be a lot higher.
Yeah, it
I
could.
really like the first 3
The,
picks.
the first 3 are very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, after this team, I don't think any of the teams are actually bad at all. I think they're all pretty good after this one.
Mm.
They're all solid.
But it's like it's sort of obviously wants to like try to use like Galadex ones, which I can sort of respect.
Yeah, drafting Galodex in a Naxx league is kind
Yeah,
of a
that
flex.
that's a good flex.
I
Like
respect
we
it,
all
I respect it. Okay, I think we can go on to number 14, which this one is Jeff with the Manhattan Mantines. He has the Necrozma, the Mega Charizard X, Suicune, Thundurus Incarnate, Serena, Ninetales Alola, Nidoking, Cobalion, Crocodile, Mantine, and Cursula. So this team, it's just like Veil offense, and it doesn't look really that bad on paper. But then you realize like the only fairy resist is Nidoking, the only flying resist is Thundurus, the only like psychic resist are Necrozma and Crocodile, and pretty much every psychic type gets covered for those. So it just kind of like, there's a lot of shared weaknesses, and there's kind of like a bunch of weird stacked typings, like the Mantine kind of doesn't look that needed. Crocodile looks kind of weird when there's already a Nidoking, could have got a different dark type. I don't know.
You're just shit talking his mascot. That is so rude, Chester.
Oh, my bad.
I mean, he didn't need it for
Yeah.
defog purposes either, really.
No, not really. But he has
Get
a lot of
Mantine.
he has a lot of solid mons though.
Mhm. This team is just gonna
Like
win if Rail is up.
Zard.
No, yeah, exactly. If you have
Necrozma,
Ninetales and
Coon,
Necrozma,
Thundurus.
Charizard, those can win games on their own.
Yeah.
Especially like all his mons are like threatening. So
Mhm.
I would say he's got that, but like he's got a lot of weaknesses, which is like a problem.
Yeah, it's just a lot of shared weaknesses. Like the team, like the Rockers are just Necrozma, Crocodile, Nidoking. It's like okay, but Nidoking and Crocodile don't like to run it that much, and you're gonna want on this team. It looks like Necrozma wants to be like a Dragon Dance sweeper most of the time. So I don't know, or like a Calm Mind Autotomize sweeper.
Cobalion and Cursor together, so he actually has quite a few Rockers.
Oh yeah, Cobalion and Cursula, I guess, but Cursula's not coming to that many games. If we're honest. But
I mean,
Cobalion's-
between the four of them, they'll find one of the Pokemon around Stealth Rock. for
Yeah,
sure.
I don't think that's
There's
a
an Necrozma too.
massive issue for this
Yeah,
team.
exactly. That
Yeah.
should be.
Necrozma is like premier defensive Pokemon, even though it's really good at being offensive.
He has a weird speed gap from I think Mantine to Cursor, because I think he has like a lot of like 70 to 80 baseball.
Mhm.
And he has
the
a-
fastest mon is also only 111.
Thundurus.
Thundurus,
Yeah.
which is pretty like mediocre.
Yeah,
I've used Thundurus as my fastest speed tier. Only the difference is that team actually had a reliable Scarfer that isn't Crocodile.
Yeah,
Crocodile's kinda-
Crocodile, and I guess
You don't want to run
Nidoking.
Crook Scarf that much, and Nidoking not either.
yeah, it's like Crocodile, kind of Nidoking, kind of Cobalion, and like
Like I had
Serena,
a
I
Hydra and
guess.
Diggersby, which are way more reliable Scarfers.
mhm.
And those two don't like get momentum or anything, so you're kind of just locked in place. If that makes sense.
Yeah, like the only like potential Scarfers with momentum would be like Serena and Cobalion, I guess. Or like maybe Thundurus, but I don't know. Just kind of not that good.
I think his removal is what Serena.
And Thundurus and Mantine. And
Thundurus and
Charizard,
Mantine.
technically.
Mm-hmm. I mean, his removal is a bit weak because like every mon that gets removal like is weak to rocks, while Serena isn't.
I mean,
Reliable.
we do have heavy duty boots.
I mean, yeah, for Thundurus and Mantine, I guess.
Yeah, I
a
don't
bit
see
awkward.
Mantine coming that many games. Honestly, I think he might have gotten Mantine because he was looking at it and he was scared of Dracovish. So Mantine gets water absorbed, right? I think it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, yeah. He might have just been one of those people that's like terrified of Dracovish for no reason and just wanted
or
water
maybe
absorbed.
I mean,
maybe you
he
just
is
want to get the
really weak to
mascot pick.
Or the mascot
He
pick.
is
I
I
really
mean,
weak to Dracovish.
I'm pretty sure Suicune probably deals with the fish.
He is also pretty weak to water types in general. If you look at it, like only Suicune really takes them. With the
And
Pokemon.
Serena.
And freeze dry
Ice Beam.
Ninetales.
I mean, Ice Beam. I guess.
I mean, it's not that bad versus waters. Necrozma
Yeah.
can beat most of them as well. Unless you're like Greninja. I mean,
Like I feel like if he plays his team well, this could actually be like a lot better. But I feel like this team more comes down to like how he uses it as such.
like I don't think this team is bad by any means, but I think it's just like worse than everything above it. But it's still really not even like necessarily bad at all.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot better than the last two teams we looked at.
Yeah, definitely for sure. I think we are good to move on to the next one, the number 13, which is Slap and the Ottawa Auras with the furry logo.
Oh my
Correct.
God.
I do not approve of this logo.
This looks like a Manly Soap
Anyway.
LOTD pick.
Anyway, he's got Dragapult, Celesteela, Tyranitar, Mega Tyranitar actually, Sylveon, Melodic, Rotomount, Donphan, Darmanitan, Raikou, Stoutland, and Articuno. So he's got like two really good first two picks in Dragapult and Celesteela. Celesteela's
Those
like,
are ridiculous.
Everyone knows Celesteela. It's fat. It's gonna be fat. It's gonna be autonomize some weeks and it's gonna sweep your team. Dragapult, super strong. Specs can, like for DD anything. It's really strong. You have Tyranitar, which can just trap other ghosts. Or
Cannot trap. That's not a thing.
No, it's trapping. It's trapping.
It is not trapping. That is not a
It
thing.
is trapping.
If the other players do, they might think they're trapped. But you can always
You run
rely.
the Sand Tomb variant.
Yes. Bro, I swear, the removal pursuit is the worst thing that Game Freak could ever.
But like, see this team, it looks like pretty good when you first look at it. And then
At a
there's
glance,
just like,
yeah.
at a glance, it looks like one of the best teams. But then it goes like, I don't know. There's just a lot of weird stuff. Like it goes
Then you
Dragapult
realize
down
the
to
hidden powers are
Raikou.
gone.
Yeah, Dragapult down to Raikou, down to Darm in the speed tiers, and then there's Rotom, Mo, and Raikou for some reason. And there's like,
I think Raikou.
I don't
Raikou's
think
really bad
that's the
without
worst thing.
powers.
Like they don't share a weakness, and I guess they do slightly different things.
I
Yeah, but
guess they're just both the
he'd benefit
electric
from like
types.
another. Yeah, I think
don't know.
Rotom Mo is better to use than Raikou.
I
Not that it's a
think-
better Pokemon, but it is better for the team.
I think Milotic is horrible on sand. I also think Stoutland is horrible with Mega T-Tar because it's only like 4 turns or something. So like
Yeah,
Stoutland's never
well,
really
three.
gonna have a.
Yeah.
It looks a lot better on paper.
Also,
Stoutland and
Stoutland,
Sand, and in
I don't
real.
think-
lost
I don't think so. I think
Pursuit and Return, so it's like really lackluster now.
I guess, yeah. But like,
don't
for example, in Gen 7, it was actually a viable threat because like every time. I mean, it isn't going to become like every week like Excadrill or something, but it's still, you know, a threat at times. Sometimes you still have to prep for it.
I also think
Yeah, but
like,
without it, like a stab return, it's kind of. I feel like a lot more just physically defensive Pokemon can take it on now.
the Articuno pick I also think was really weird. It's just another flying type that shares the fire and electric weakness with Celesteela, and this team already has a lackluster ground type in Donphan, at least like in taking electric types on. Like if they have any coverage at all, Donphan's gonna take a good chunk every time. So it's like,
He's actually kind of fire weak, except for like Milotic and Tyranitar.
yeah, I
like-
can see that as well.
But yeah, for example, like Cinderace can just click fighting move on Tyranitar and
Just
you
U-turn
know
on the way.
pressure. Yeah, you turn on Milo and getting like its electric mod.
I think the combo of like, I think this is a Gen 18 that's actually kind of weak to electric types, which is like kind of rare. Honestly,
I mean, there's a Dawn fan, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
and
think
he has,
Donphan
he
is
has
a
like
pretty.
2. He has Rotomo and Raikou as well, to be fair.
And
So
So I think
Dragonfly
between those
switches.
3,
Yeah,
So play
he's
around
not
it.
too electric weak.
yeah. Electric types still suck, unfortunately.
I guess. I don't know. I just think the feature gaps are pretty weird. I think Raikou is pretty lackluster as a mon. I think Stoutland's pretty terrible now without Return and Pursuit.
Yeah, I really disagree with this Stoutland pick. I feel like he could have picked something else a lot better.
Also-
It's like way too niche because he doesn't have that many turns of sand. And
Yeah,
it's
it doesn't
not
have that many turns. I also think he could have gotten something way better than Mega T-Tar, honestly. Like in the round
I think
three
Mega
slot.
T-Tar's okay.
It's
I
way
think
too
it may be a
for
bit
round
early.
three. It's way too early.
Yeah,
for
it
round
was a
three.
bit early.
I think instead of Raikou, you should have got a fighting type. Because he doesn't really break
yeah.
dark types too easily.
Yeah, I could see that.
Sylveon's his only way of hitting them super effectively.
So yeah, but let's see. Stoutland's options now are Takedown, Strength, Facade, and Retaliate.
Retaliate's okay. It's similar to
Retaliate
my
and Facade are
Retaliate
okay.
are okay. But if you don't have the boost, that's 70 base power coming off a 110 attack. That's like not.
You might have to like
At
run
all.
Toxic Orb or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, if he loses Raikou, like his team speed is like it's like Dragapult, and that's sort of it.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't agree with the Raikou pick that much. I guess he was kind of. He wasn't even flying.
I don't know. I
that
know like what past ones were left on the board at that point.
Pretty sure
So-
Azelf was. I think Azelf would have fit much better.
Yeah, Azelf would have been better for this
He
team.
doesn't
I don't
even
think
have a psychic
he doesn't have
type.
a psychic type.
He doesn't have a psychic type or dark type, which I think is too vague.
He's got-
of
Yeah,
use.
he has
T-Top.
T-Top.
Oh,
T-Toss is dark.
or a fighting type is what I meant. I meant
Fighting.
type. And
I think
both of
fighting
those
is
are-
really essential.
fighting and psychic I think are very useful for the T-Tar. Because like
Yeah.
psychic,
Yeah, exactly.
psychic likes having T-Tar around because it's gonna scare all the ghosts and all the psychics. And then like obviously fightings can actually take on stuff
Well,
for T-Tar.
the dark types. I don't think Dragapult supported very well.
Yeah, Dragapult.
No,
This
I
looks like, to me, it looks like a Celesteela draft with the Dragapult slapped on, and I don't think that works very well. I don't know.
It's not like Dragapult can really break either, or like that good, if that makes sense. It's not Darmanitan which he has.
Yeah, Darmanitan's like the one breaker on this team.
So like, it's not that Dragapult is bad at breaking, but it's not like the Darmanitan that he already had. So he could just have like a better round one pick. That fits
Yeah.
well.
I mean, even then,
I mean, you can run some interesting sets, some bulky sets, especially with so much speed.
it's not like Dragapult was a bad pick. I just don't think it fits on the team.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I get you.
I don't
I
know.
think it's just
Also, this team's
Weird.
rockers are just T-Tar and Donphan. That's probably fine. It's kind of like, it's not that many options, is the one thing. Like, they're both reliable rockers, it's just only 2 options. It's kind of rough sometimes.
I feel like the issue of that more is that they have a lot of shared weaknesses like grass and water, so you
Yeah.
can like really exploit that.
I mean, not even that. Like, oh, you have also the problem that Donphan isn't always gonna come every week, and
Yeah, it's
Tyranitar
also the
doesn't
problem
really
with
want
Donphan
rocks
is a
every week.
Donphan, and it's not even really, like, reliable.
I don't think Donphan's a what. Like, it's okay. It's okay in my opinion.
I think there's instances where he's going to want to run Assault Vest on Fen, and then he's forcing
that-
himself
that's
to not
the issue.
to lose a move slot on Tyranitar if he wants to have rocks.
Yeah.
So something over like Stal, getting like Stal and Articuno Raikou, just changing them into like fast Pokemon and another rocker would be really good for the team. Like a fighting
Raikou is
type.
already fast, you clown.
No, but getting rid of Raikou because it's the second electric.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there'll be Pokemon that can beef the speeders and getting rid of those 3.
Mm-hmm. Like, also a psychic and a fighting type. Like, I doubt Mienshao is on the board, but that would be good
Yeah,
for this team.
it's Tezzy's got Mienshao.
Okay. I don't know how you have that memorized, but good job.
I am big brain. That is why.
Okay, so I think we're good to move on to number 12. Which number 12 is the Coral.
Oh no! Before you move, I
What,
just want
I
to say,
already
Slap is a
moved?
snake. No! Move back right now.
Okay, wow.
Don't you dare.
Oh well,
Unbelievable.
he is in fact 17th because he's a snake.
He is a snake, he is a snake.
He is a snake.
He's
He's the real last place.
He's actually, you know, with information I've just been given.
Yeah, we
he's definitely
got
a
some
Coming in
information.
live breaking news.
Breaking news. Okay, we can move on to number 12 in the Colorado Colossals with Photon. He has the Mega Gallade, Garchomp, Skarmory, Tapu Fini, Chandelure, Muckalola, Crobat, Bellossom, Vikavolt, Avalugg, Copper Anjaw. So, the things with this team is Muckalola, first off, is not really a Pokemon anymore. Bellossom is not a Pokemon. Like, I don't know. It's like, I also think Gallade and Garchomp are like kind of weird on the same team. So they kind of break the same things, kind of checked by some of the same things.
I mean, they break for each other.
I mean, I guess they break for each other, but they have like very similar stat spreads, very similar move pools. It's like, I
What
don't
do you
know.
mean?
I
What
think
do you
it's
mean?
fine. I think it's fine.
I don't know.
Wait,
I
Chester,
don't-
what-
I think
they
they have
just-
similar move
they feel
pools.
like-
what
they feel
does
like-
Garchomp hit super effective against a lad though?
Bro, Chez is a clown.
Huh? Bro,
Clown
it's got
emoji.
surf. I'm pretty sure it's got
Similar
surf.
move pools, Gallade move pools, like why they the ocean.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
they're
disagree with that.
both just running like Sword Stance, 3 attacks, or Garchomp might run rocks. Like every week though. They're just gonna fill the same
Every
role.
week.
I can see what you mean, but
It's just like,
it's
I don't
not.
know.
I don't think they're that bad.
I don't
They're
know if
definitely
it's really
scary.
like a weakness per se.
I
They're
don't know.
very
I
hard to
just
prep
they're
for.
both just fairy weak, and his only fairy resist is like Crobat and Skarmory, which aren't the bulkiest. I guess
There's a
Copper Jaw.
Big
There's
copper
Copper Jaw right there.
I don't know.
Mine.
Copper
Right,
Jaw
yeah.
is not the bulkiest fucking monster. I will be honest. It's just a breaker.
I like how you got it with the second steel though. Skarmory and Copper Jaw.
There's also Chandelure, but that's rocks weak and not that bulky too.
Mm-hmm.
The one big weakness on this is that he seems really weak to fire. Like I think it's Skarmory, Blossom, Vikavolt, Avalok, Copperjaw. I think that's 5 mons weak to fire.
He
I
has an
think this
immunity,
team,
Finny and Chomp. So.
even with the Garchomp, I think it's kind of electric weak because he didn't draft an actual grass type. He drafted a Blossom for the meme, and it's like kind of gonna bite him. I think, especially it's Blossom without hidden power, so it's pretty terrible.
Yeah,
It's walled
yeah,
by all steel types
It's
and fire
walled by
types.
like every
pretty
mon.
much.
I don't know. It's not very good, if you ask me.
I'm not sure about
Why was
Throwback
this so high up again? Why is this worse than Slaps? Actually, no, Slaps the Snake. Why is this worse than Jeff's? Or
What?
better than Jeff, should I say?
What?
Why is this team better than Jeff's? I didn't do the ranking, so I'm not.
Because it does not have as many shared weaknesses as Jeff's, and Jeff's relies on one gimmick in Veil to win the games.
Well, I think if you look at the team that he can bring every week, Gallade, Garchomp, Skarm, Fini, and then like the last 2 Pokemon could be for where the ones left. That's a really scary team.
I mean, look, he has
I
the
feel
first
like this
4
team's
mons
gonna be
that are
pretty
gonna
easy.
come every week, and then just an assortment of shit mons. That
Yeah.
2 of them can come. I guess like Crobat and Copper Jaw and Avalok aren't that bad. Avalok's kind of cool with body press and heavy duty boots now. I don't know what it fills. It's just another physically defensive, very frail, especially fire weak mon. So it's just pretty similar to Skarmory. That's also going to be running removal a lot of weeks. So it's kind of just the same thing. I guess it's not going to be hazard sacking, but...
The one thing I find a bit weird is the Crobat pick when he already had Makaz's poison type. Because I think he only got it for the speed. I think he only
They
got
don't
it for
show
the
any
speed tier.
weaknesses as such.
I feel like he
Yeah.
only got it for the speed.
Yeah, I think he needed that speed tier because it was.
Yeah.
Otherwise, his faster would have been Gallade than Garchomp. And then I think after that it's Finny, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. There's a lot of holes.
So I
in
think
there, too.
Crobat's fine.
I think he could have dropped something like Aerodactyl though. Gives him another rocker and another. I feel like it's just another fire resist. It's a lot better than Crobat.
I don't think that double poison's necessarily like a big deal because they don't share weaknesses and they do different things. That's about.
Fair enough. I think the fire resist is definitely nice because if you're bringing like a team of 3 fire weak, then like if there's something like a Darmanitan that's scarfed, will just eat that alive. Even if
Yeah,
you've got
I
resist.
see what you mean by that. I do.
It deters fire type and beefs up his options. But
Yeah.
yes,
One thing I have to say is that Chandelure with Scarf can really easily hinder like water types that Finny kind of doesn't like, or like offensive Finny sets. Does that make sense? Because
I guess.
for example, like a Vaporeon will just like always go on Finny, but then Chandler comes in, clicks trick, and then
I mean,
the
Feeny
fuck's
can
up?
also click trick if it's Specs or Scarf. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but I mean, like
it's
Calm
hard
Mind.
to set up with the trick and Calm Mind. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you call mind already. I'm just saying, you said offensive, so that's pretty broad. So Specs and Scarf
Yeah,
can
yeah,
also
sorry.
just be offensive. Sets. I guess Vikavolt's kind of cool for this team for webs. Like webs, Gallade, and Garchomp is obviously pretty scary.
Vikavolt? Bro, Vikavolt is fat. I
Yeah.
realized Vikavolt is fat as fuck.
It also helps break. It also helps break bulky psychics for
With
the ladies.
just max HP leftovers and boost,
I
you
really like that and a lot of them along
If it's no
with
spell.
Gallade. Even though a lot of them get nerfed a lot, it's like
Alola Muck, I think you could have gotten like round 8, honestly.
Yeah,
I
you could have
Like,
waited.
I think you could have got Blossom with pick 11, probably. That's like,
I think Mark is going to be really underwhelming now because it gets worn down so easy. especially with like the gluttony with the Iopapla berry nerf.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe with wish support it could. I feel like maybe like wish support, this team could actually benefit from it somewhat.
Yeah. I mean, a bit. It's like for Muck and Feeny, and I guess
Finn,
Copper.
yeah.
But even then, Copper isn't getting that much from Wish because that's such massive.
Nah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I think we're good to move on to number 11. Because this team is just overall kind of lacking in quite a few areas. So number 11 is Killer and the Orlando Solar Beans.
This is a perfect team before we say anything. Killer, please don't kill me. I didn't make these things, okay? You're number one in my heart.
Okay.
Originally, we had this team at 16th, but I was advised to change it after looking again.
Okay, so can I start
Sure.
with this one?
Be my
So-
guest.
Have
Yeah,
we even
but-
gone over the months?
So it's Killer, right? Killer.
What if people
It
are
is
listening
Killer.
in audio?
Killer
They won't know
has
what-
Zeraora, Zygarde, Mandibuzz, Bulu, Entei, Metagross, Hitler, Pidgeot, Cryogonal, Graboder, and Stonjourner.
Yeah, he means Keldeo, by the way.
So
Yeah,
I really
carry
do
on.
not like the Hitler pick. That kind of this team was originally number 1, but that kind of moved it down to number 11. Really, just I
Who would draft such a vile person?
Hey,
Unbelievable.
Hey, no Ratataman doesn't hate Keldeo anymore.
Dude, Ratataman is gonna listen to this video and he's gonna be very glad we're spreading his word, his gospel. So I mean, obviously Zeraora and Zygarde is pretty strong. Like even with Zera losing Z-moves and hidden power, I think it's still easily the best electric type this gen because they got like Play Rough, Aura Sphere, Blaze Kick, all that stuff, which is pretty good.
I
for
think
it.
it's tied top with more Pika, but carry on. please.
That's fair enough. That's a fair assessment. Zygarde is obviously kind of broken with no hidden power ice because it just like doesn't die with the subsets. Mandibuzz is good because it has heavy duty boots, so it's a lot more annoying to wear down. But I mean Bulu is an okay pick as well. It's just kind of like, it's a good grass type. It's like, I don't know, this team, because of like, I think even with Bulu, this team is pretty ground weak because like so
Yeah.
many ground types get like
High horsepower.
high
now.
horsepower now.
Yeah.
So then like Zera's gonna still die, Entei's still gonna die, Metagross still gonna die. I guess Stonjourner
Metagross never
counts as a
dies in
Pokemon kind
Yeah,
of.
Metagross
yeah,
never
I
dies
think
anymore.
he has like
I mean Metagross
5.
won't die, but it's gonna take like 60.
I think he has 5 months weak to ground. This is what I counted. 4 or 5.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was relying on Bulu to remove that kind of
Yeah.
weakness, but then, I don't know, stuff like Mamo can just high horsepower now. I know.
The thing is, though, he does have like quite a few immunities.
I
and,
get-
like,
he has
Pidgeot.
he has like Mandibuzz Pidgeot, but like Pidgeot can't
Yeah.
remove. Pidgeot's always
Hello?
gonna be taking rocks.
Cryogonal.
Cryogonal's gonna be taking
Cryogonal,
rocks.
that doesn't count. That's dying to a physical hit.
Yeah, Cryogonal will die to any. I mean, all 3 of them are also weak to Stone Edge, so I don't know.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
uses the
Three
edge
of
Quake.
Edgequake like destroys the scene.
It's just Bulu.
Like-
Bulu and I
Yeah.
guess Zygarde are the only checks. Just because Zygarde's naturally fat. Like the team's actually pretty scary offensively. With like Sarah, Zygarde, I guess kind of Entei. It's kind of a mon. Keldeo,
I think
Pidgeot.
Keldeo is going to be good now. Yeah.
Yeah. Keldeo got like, what, Air Slash?
Yeah, which was
And
really-
Aura Sphere. Even though it had for like Secret Sword, but it got it.
I mean, it needs to this from a special side, so it, like makes more damage.
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, it can pick and choose between like Aura Sphere, Focus Blast, Secret Sword. It's got more choices. That's cool. I do think it kind of lost. I think Hidden Power losing is kind of annoying for it. But then again, it kind of only used Hidden Power against those like niche grass types that it can Air Slash now. So it's not
Yeah.
that bad. It's overall probably a better mon. Craig, Garbodor, Stonjourner feel kind of weird. I guess Garbodor's for spikes.
Yeah.
But it's like a mediocre spiker at best. To me, it's kind of just gonna sit there and be like, unless you're running Haze Garbodor, it's just gonna be setup fodder for something, or it's just gonna be. It's like it doesn't beat any removers. I think. Like I think it loses to pretty much every remover. Unless it's like, I don't know.
Serena.
I think it gets Fire Blast for Skarmory. I don't know. It's like, I think it's pretty mediocre. Stonejourner, I guess it was just like the meme Gen 8 pick, but it's pretty bad.
I feel like he only got it because he gets rocks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to
Like,
say
his only
if
other
if his
rock is
Metagross
Metagross.
is assault vested, then he needs
Yeah.
a stealth rocker. Stonejourner isn't the worst. You can run it with Focus Sash and get rocks up quite reliably. Yes, if that's what you need to do, but it's not terrible.
Yeah, like it can do some cool things, but I'm not really sure like how it's gonna function in this format. Such.
Yeah, it's
It,
I
it
think
seems
a more,
like it's
a more
like built
reliable
way more
rocker,
for doubles.
a more like a Regirock would have been definitely more reliable than a Stonejourner. I think
oh for sure,
So,
But I mean,
it's
he
got
didn't
like
wanna,
25 speed def. I mean,
didn't
yeah,
wanna be
he
like
didn't
a-
want to have Gen 7.
yeah, he wanted to have a Gen 8 mon.
Yeah, he'd be like the biggest hypocrite in existence if he
Garbodor
didn't
can set up
Gen 8.
some like spikes and spikes there. So.
Well, yeah, but still, Garbodor isn't really beating many removers other than like Serena and Eldegoss, I guess. This is a lot. I don't know. It's like, it's also gonna lose if you're using it as a lead. Like a lot of the leads are like steals and ground types to set the rocks, so it's gonna lose to those as well. I guess it can drain punch
Yes,
the
it
steel
depends.
types.
It depends on what team you're facing. Because some of the teams that we met for like have very weakness.
I guess.
And the only thing it can do is like explosion to prevent rapid spin if it's faster.
Also, I do think since the team Smoky Water is Keldeo, I think like over time fire types can beat this team pretty well. Like
I mean, Zygarde is still on problem.
Zygarde
Yeah,
is still
they're-
there. Yeah, I mean, even then,
Yeah,
a
this
lot
would
of them.
like if you had a Regirock, I would say that, like he'd be fine. But with Stonejourner, if you've got a special fire type,
Yeah, Stonejourner getting a much more sturdy flying resist would also be very nice for this team because it's just Metagross, so it doesn't have like the greatest Spadef. It's obviously not bad Spadef, but
I think it's
Yeah.
really a problem with it special because physical like Stonejourner like completely
well,
like
yeah.
has
But
like really good.
then again, I'm pretty sure I was laddering with Stonejourner early in the generation, and it took like 90 from a Charizard Hurricane or something like that. Like it's so frail, especially. It's like it's actually like a new Kartana, but it's slow. So I don't know. Like,
its speed stat should be its special defense stat.
Yeah,
If it was like
actually,
that, it would be a
actually the
decent
thing
Pokemon.
about this team, it's really weird. I think its slowest mon's 70. So like maybe like some like Trick Room teams could like pose this team an issue. But it does have like some good bulk, which means it can be all that out as such. But it's like something to keep in mind.
He's got good speed. He's got good fast speed tiers.
Yeah, he's got good fast
He-
speed.
he
He
can
has like
get
no
anything-
slow mons.
Slow.
Like
exactly.
basically anything below 70 doesn't need to run speed.
I also kind of am not a big fan of Pidgeot Mega. It's like okay, but
I don't mind it with Zygarde. I think Bulu, Zygarde, Keldeo, Pidgeot form like together and they're in a good defensive core. 'Cause they
Yeah,
all-
yeah, I think it's a decent offensive call.
you kill all the grasses, you kill the steels with Keldeo.
well, yeah,
And
but
then, like,
the
Bulu
only
can-
way you're killing grasses with this team is you're relying completely on Pidgeot and Entei.
And
they're
Entei.
they're both
I don't think that's
rocks.
that
so
bad.
like if rocks are up, you're over time just gonna like not be able to kill a grass type. Cause like say a Tangrowth
Yeah.
comes versus this team, it's just gonna over time wall everything. Unless it's like Specs Keldeo, I guess. But it's just I don't know. Grass types look very annoying for this team to break. I guess
Yeah,
Bulu,
he has to
Bulu
play
could
well
1v1
against the grass
most
type.
of them with like Sword Stance Mega Horn, but he has to kind of hard outplay. So it's kind of
Yeah, fair enough.
mediocre. I guess
I mean, he has,
Garbodor is there.
he has his Garbodor, I guess.
I
Yeah.
guess, yeah.
Big don't count out Big Garbodor over there.
But let's see, the hazards on this team are like Metagross, Stonejourner. Is
Yeah.
that the only rocks?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
we meant
pretty.
that
That's
earlier.
pretty bad. I'm gonna be honest.
That's not great.
Yeah, we said
And
it.
his removal's a bit meh as well. It's Mandibuzz, Pidgeot, Croagnon. They're all weak to rocks. Croagnon has like niche matchups without hidden power now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's a lot worse
Um,
without in power.
I feel like Mandibuzz is going to be pressured a lot to run defog. I did have a conversation with Killer where he said he believes that if Mandibuzz is your only defogger, that's not a bad thing.
I
so
think that
I
is
guess-
a bad thing because you're forced to bring a Manabuzz every week, and Manabuzz isn't.
Yeah, that's
It's
what
gonna
I
have
said.
bad matchups some weeks. It's not the type of mon that's always gonna have a good matchup. Like there are some
Didn't he,
teams.
plus you
didn't he
can,
play
like,
a
you
Mega
can always
Giantsy
you can,
turn
like,
what,
pressure a
week
team
1?
around
Yeah, he
as
played a
well.
Mega Diancie week 1.
That was giving him lots of problems, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, it was.
I believe.
I mean, it's gonna. Like a strong fairy type is gonna give this team a problem, yeah. Because like Entei, Metagross, neither of them have recovery. There's no Wind Basher.
Especially Diancie, because Diancie just literally hits everything with the power times or less.
Yeah, it's like Spadef Bulu is the check, honestly. Spadef Bulu is kind of a like really good check to it though, to be fair.
I guess.
Yeah,
but, like, then you just hit something for Bulu.
Yeah. But I think we're good to move on to number 10.
Yeah, so I just want to finally say that Killer, your team's number 1 in my heart. All the others were the
No,
ones
shut up.
you
Shut
called
up.
your
We're
team
on
bad.
the German
Just- I think your
Genesex.
team's
We
perfect.
are on the
Please
German
don't send me hate
Genesex
comments.
now. We're on to the German Genesex and data and the most fire team name and logo in the entire league in all 3 divisions. Absolute flames. Oh my lord. Absolute power.
Big German
So
Genesex.
he has the
Yeah,
Tapu the Lando Eye, the Heatran, the Weavile, the Conkeldurr, the Amoonguss, the Altaria, Slowbro, Snorlax, Galvantula, and Cofagrigus. So like Lele,
He really went with the German culture in the first 2 picks, Lele and Lando, just bombing everyone.
yeah, I mean Lele Lando is obviously good, but then like I don't know, with Lele then you get like Weavile and Conkeldurr, which both really like to use their priority moves, and like Weavile is kind of I don't know, kind of lost a lot of its like a lot of this reason you would draft it without pursuit. I think it kind of like relied on that a lot to trap mons and made it a lot better than it is. Heatran's good with the first 2 picks, obviously. It's just a good like support for both of them. Breaking steel types and resisting ice and stuff. And breaking grass types. It's just good.
Yeah, the first 3 picks are they'll be very difficult to prep for.
And then I mean the only removal is like Lando Eye, Conkeldurr, and Altaria, which is I don't know, kinda the only
It's
what you can
workable,
work with
but
it.
it's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
I guess. The only ground resist is Lando, but I mean I guess Slowbro can beat pretty much every ground type. At least.
Amoonguss can beat some of them as well.
Some of them. Galvantula Webs is pretty good for this team, even though like boots exist. Like Lele Lando, they're like pretty terrifying under webs. I guess kinda Altaria to an extent. But
Yeah.
it's really just Lele and Lando abusing those. Weavile can abuse it to outspeed like the Zeras and like the Lobs and stuff, I guess. But that's about it. Or like Mega Zan.
I do like how he's built around Altaria. I think he supported it quite well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I
So-
agree with that.
Because he breaks steel types he pressures steel types with his first 3 quite a lot.
Yeah, but Altaria is still an unmon, so it's okay.
I like it on this team. So
It's quite nice.
yeah.
Even though it's lost its return, it kind of feels a more. I don't know. I still like
But
it.
you can still run body slam, and body
Exactly.
slam is bad on.
Yeah,
Hacks
facade.
is a win con.
Usually,
Hacks is a win
usually
con.
would run facade anyway, but get turn you kind of.
Yeah, facade's
Yeah.
nice with it too.
Yeah, it's fine as well.
I think it's only rockers are Lando and Heatran, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah, you're correct there.
which is not the best. I mean,
Good.
I mean, they're like decent together. So I guess they're both weak to water. But you don't always want to rocks on. Like, I guess Heatran's fine, but maybe not on Lando White as much.
See, to me, a wish passing fairy type over Altaria would have been better on this team, because even then you don't even need another fairy type because you have Lele. But like some wish passer would have been better over I don't know maybe Snorlax or like Kofag. Even though Cheesebags are pretty good on this team, but like being able to heal up Lele, Lando, and Heatran would be, and I guess Conkeldurr as well, would be really good. Because like I think you're gonna. This team is gonna rely on Heatran a ton to break steel types and to break grass types, I think.
Yeah.
And also to resist ice, because the only other ice resists are Slowbro and Snorlax. And there's, I guess, Weavile
Big Weavile.
might count. You could have make an argument that it counts, but I'm not counting it. And like then there's what 1, 2, 3 weaknesses. One of them's a 4 times weak, and the other are gonna take a ton from an ice beam or an icicle crash. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like,
I think that's very gone.
I was going to say about his regenerator call. I think he would have preferred if he had like a slow king Tangrowth instead.
yeah, Slowking Tangrowth would have been better, so he has an
I
actual
think-
ground resist.
Exactly. Because Amoonguss, without a solid ground resist, I can feel like there will be problems. And
I
mean,
assume
Tangrowth was drafted at the time.
Tangrowth was gone by then.
It was gone by then,
It's
but
actually pretty true. Like if you look at it, Killio actually wins because of air siphon.
Hear that,
Yes.
killer?
We're giving you help, Killer. Don't let
Yeah,
Rex go up
as
and tell the
apologies for the fact we put you so low.
lower. Also, like, Weavile is his only, like, relevant fast mon. Everything else is 101 or below. I guess Galvantula.
Yeah.
It's what, like 104, 105, something like that?
it's 108, isn't it?
I don't
Yeah, it's
believe it's
108.
Is it? Okay. Even
Yeah,
then,
it's
not
108.
that fast.
Like, his speed tiers are, like, so weird. I think he has, like, 4 mons that are, like, base 30, and then he has Kong. So, like, half his team is, like, super, super slow.
Mhm.
Which,
I
I
think
mean,
the
I guess
team-
that's cool for, like, Trick Room, maybe, but even then, it's just it's just, I feel like maybe it's a bit much.
If I'm honest, I think the team is carried this high just by virtue of the first 3 picks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, I think that every other pick after that is.
I mean,
kinda mediocre.
Moon, Altaria, and Slur are pretty good, and Snorlax too. But you
No,
could have
see, I
like.
don't. I think.
I think
I think
there's
a
lots of
ground
things that are
resist
hard to
would
prep
be
for.
better than a Moongus. I think a ground resist would be way better than a Moongus.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. Just remember you interrupted me.
You said a Moongus was a good pick.
No, I said that they are good picks, and then I was going to say, but like George has said, it would have been better if there was a Slowking and
Exactement.
Yes, I agree.
Couple of other things on the list. I think like a really good ghost type like destroys his team because I think it's only versus Weavile. So this is like a good poltergeist matchup.
I mean, he's got a
Or, like,
Snorlax.
Yeah, he's got Lax.
He does
Oh,
have
yeah,
a
you're
big
Oh,
Snorlax
you're
right
right.
there.
Big Lax, but Lax got the
Yeah.
berry nerf, so it's kind of subpar.
I
I
think
guess
it's
he's
still-
fine.
it's still
He's
very
fine. I think he's
it
fine.
got it got Darkest Lariat, to be fair. That's cool.
Yeah.
And Heat Crash.
Yeah, and Heat Crash and like high horsepower, I guess. So that's,
I-
you know, it had
Is
that.
this
before.
only
It had high horsepower,
is
yeah.
this only flying resist Heatran?
Yeah, no electric type.
Yeah.
The
So
electric type is
basically,
Galvantula.
Lando. Basically, the other Lando. Frankly, he has one of the Landos, but Lando T like sort
With
of
the
goes in
power
if he's
of
able to
fly.
chip slow bro. Yeah, the power of fly.
I mean, even with the Lando tier, I feel like he's definitely got the bulk, physical bulk
Yeah.
to take it on.
Kinda, yeah.
That's
Like
true.
he can always willow it with Kofag and stuff. I don't
You
know.
know, between like Autobro, Slowbro, Cofagrigus,
I'm-
Moongus, as long as it doesn't get flied. I mean, he does have a Weaver.
Okay, if I'm
Takes
being
it out.
honest, I do not think Fly is a very viable thing to
But
say.
Power Hub Fly is powerful.
I'm
Don't
just
anyone
gonna
tell you
say,
otherwise.
the tank in his logo is like not cropped at all. If you look at the cannon, it's like really poorly cropped. There's a white stripe around it.
Are you saying this is affecting his ranking?
Yeah, it only
is,
adds to the- it only adds to the logo.
It made it go up. Like, also, like
It
the
shows
yellow,
he's put
the
effort to
yellow
make
on
that.
the
He's
German
put
flag,
effort to do that.
the yellow on the German flag is kind of like blending into the tank tracks down there. If you see that, I think
That's good design.
good design. Yeah, I agree.
You can see time went into this
It
logo.
looks like a
You
little
know-
bite
you know-
kind of came out of the tank track. Someone just took a little nibble. Okay, I think
Nom,
we're
nom,
good
nom,
to
nom.
move on to the number 9 draft, which is the Boise State Blastoise and Peyton. He has the Scizor, Gliscor, Latios Mega, Terrakion, Florges, Bronzong, Alomomola, Salazzle, Rotom, Licky Licky, Liepard. I don't know. It's
Why are
like-
you laughing?
This team starts so
Unbelievable.
like broken with the first 3 picks, kind of 4. I don't know about Terrakion without Zemus though, but it just becomes so passive after that. Like, the only non-passive mons after that is like Salazzle and Rotom, I guess. even then, honestly, I think he's gonna bring like the sub-toxic Salazzle every week.
I mean, having seen week 1 played, I think it's a bit evident the team can be played a bit too passively at times.
Yeah,
Maybe,
yeah, just a
perhaps,
bit.
perhaps a bit hacks, like a hacks feed.
It is weak. It is weak to hacks. It's very weak to hacks.
Yeah, I mean, slow teams are weak to hacks. To be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, even then, this team isn't that slow. It's got like Salazzle, Latios.
God, this
To
team
rat-
gives me
Hard.
PTSD from watching that game.
Yeah, I don't know. The team just looks just kind of weird. It's weird, like Alomomola, Licky, and Forgus looks kind of redundant to me.
Yeah, if he could have got a less passive water type. I think.
Yeah, a less passive water, like, I don't know. I know it wouldn't have been around by now, but like a Milotic.
Yeah,
or,
Milotic,
like, maybe
yeah.
like even a Blastoise. Like, yeah, would have been better.
He didn't need all 3 wish passes for sure.
To be fair,
'Cause-
Scizor plus Gliscor is very good. Terrakion is gonna be a bit worse of a breaker without Z-moves, I think. But it's still probably
Yeah.
okay.
It's still nice
Like,
for
it's
Latios.
still decent. I think some people are overreacting to the fact it lost C, but yeah, it's not ideal because it really appreciated Z moves.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's I mean, it doesn't have a really great way of breaking psychic types now without Rock Z and fairy types. You're relying on what X Scissor Poison Jab. There's
I'm not gonna start. I'm a Terrakion. I'm a big Terrakion hater.
if you're banded, that requires a lot of predictions for it to properly break a team down. Which
I mean, I think anything with that much attack with the choice band is very scary. I'm pretty sure it's 2 shots like Alomomola with choice band.
I don't think that's
I mean,
true.
I know,
if I'm
I know he
honest.
does have Alomomola. Don't you dare doubt me.
I do not think that's true. I think you're lying to me. Also,
I would never do such a thing.
Latios Mega when Pursuit isn't there is pretty broken. To be honest, that should not have gone round 3. That should have gone round 1.
Yeah, he did
I
that.
don't
That
think
was very
like,
first 3 picks
Pursuit,
were amazing.
like makes or breaks Latios, but it's like a decent buff for it.
It was already very, very, very good. So any buff is gonna be a.
I mean, losing
Sure.
HP fire is a bit.
Yeah, that sort of sucks, right? But
I
it
think
can,
that's a
like,
bit
it can
worse.
still
It's not
manage
for
it
like
out.
just the Scizor matchup and like the
Ferrothorn.
matchup. It's like 2
Yeah,
matchups.
but like you can like maybe you might have to run like more coverage and stuff. If you know what I mean?
I suppose.
You
I
have
mean,
to step up a bit
it has Earthquake still for other
Yeah.
other steel types. So it's not that bad.
What I think about this team is that first 4 picks work really well together. Even the 5th, if you want to count it, but then from the 5th onwards, it's kind of very bulky. No, it doesn't have to.
I really like the
Passive and bulky.
I really like the Bronzong pick despite Killerasky. I think that was a very good pick solely because of that.
Dude, and then Killer got better Bronzong and complained. I'll still never understand that. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
You
I
see
think
how
he
mad
explained
he
it.
got
I
about
think he explained it to me in DMs or something, but I still have
it.
no
It's
idea.
because it has heat proof, I think, and like
Heat proof.
yeah, I think that was the reason. Or
I guess we did say his team was kind of fire weak, but
That doesn't make it less. I mean, it makes it like slightly less fire weak.
I don't
anyway.
understand.
No comprende.
No comprende. I'm gonna say this team is completely not fire weak, not because of the Alomomola, Salazzle, or Latios, or
Bronzong.
Terrakion, because of just the heat-proof Bronzong.
Proof Bronzong.
Also, if I'm honest, another critique is it's pretty ghost weak. It's like just licky. I'm still not even gonna acknowledge Lipard. It's just
I think a stronger dark.
I
type
feel
would
like
be very
Lipard's
nice
a
on this
joke
team.
in a free draft. To be
yeah,
honest.
it's like a 3-point mon or 2-point mon. You shouldn't be stooping that low. That's like drafting like a Noctowl or like a Rufflet.
No, Noctowl's a real mon now.
Noctowl
don't
is
you?
broken.
Agility, nasty plot, please.
Puggers.
Come.
Also,
Puggers.
there's like a speed gap from Terrakion to Gliscor. I'm still ignoring Lipard.
Yeah.
I guess it's not that bad, but it's kind of just there.
Not
mean,
bad.
I
this
also,
team is-
I
not
also
that bad.
noticed I don't think he has a grass type as well, which I So I think he's like.
He's
I
got-
think
he's
he
got-
could be
he's
weak
It's
to
not
like.
ground weak. It's not ground weak.
I think
Or
he's
like-
weak to like certain like offensive waters.
It could be a problem. I mean, he can run lots of
Yeah, actually water resists.
like
looking kinda
aloes,
shaky.
aloes or
Yeah, but like if you can like run a water type which can abuse aloe, I think he could be in trouble.
That's a lot, because they can all sub on it.
Yeah, exactly.
sub block and set up and you win.
Bruh.
I'm gonna look up water types. They get sub block.
Big Galysopod 6-0 is this team.
Wasn't there someone who
Classic
bought
guy.
like sub block for alligator and like DD and then 6-0?
Yeah, I saw that
That's-
game. Yeah.
Where,
saw that,
whoever's
like,
got Blastoise, whoever's got Blastoise, the
application.
set you bring, sub block, shell smash, and then water move, and you win this
Water
game.
Which is a move.
Water move, water move.
Just name three
I
moves
thought you
there.
asked what is a move.
Preferably, you could run the special water move,
Why
and then
not
you win the
waterfall
game.
and flinch?
GG.
Why not waterfall and flinch? Imagine the Blastoise team losing to Blastoise.
That would be
That'd be a pose.
Ironic.
The boys state Blastoise.
Okay, I think we're good to move on to number
Yeah,
8.
I will say this is like one. I feel like his speed tiers are pretty solid.
Okay, I think it's passive, and I think it's stupid, and I think it's ugly, and I don't like the G.
You are wrong. You are so
You are
wrong.
So
Right.
next we have the El Paso Cincinos and Oshawott with the Eggy slash Volcarona, Diancie, Cresselia, Toxicity, Seismitoad, Porygon 2, Virizion, Zygarde 10, the best mon in the game, and Whimsicott.
Pika.
Pico, Pico, Pico.
go, go.
Honestly,
This team should be a lot higher because of Pico, but we
it
had
should
to
be
restrict.
number 1. Should be number 1, let's be real.
We had to restrict it for
Exactly, we had to make sacrifices.
For sure. So like the first 3 picks look pretty good, but I still think Volcarona is not as good as people think because it lost Z moves and hidden power, which both kind of suck. Like all it
Yeah.
gained is just boots. It's like okay for it.
Like
I think
to be fair,
DC
Volcarona was still good without Z-moves beforehand. So it's not bad at all, but yeah, maybe like it was maybe a bit early to take it, like just because it's got boots now.
I think with boots, you're like kind of deterred from running defensive sets, which are some of the best Volcarona sets.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll think, I might as well run boots to be safe instead of leftovers.
Yeah.
But because like his removal's not amazing. Is Diancie
see-
and Whimsicott and Pico.
I mean, I've seen some replays of like Aki using it, and I swear to God, Aki.
Yeah, with Volcarona.
He said it was like the
Exactly.
best mon in the meta.
Yeah, it's the best,
best fire
fire
type.
type.
Bro, I drafted
Jeremy,
one
what's
Aki
your
team, and I came
comment about
first in the
that?
league.
What do you think about that?
What?
That Volcarona is the best fire type.
I mean, fire types were guarded in 7, so like, I don't know. I mean, Infinite is like really good. I guess it depends on preference because a lot of people don't like Volcarona because of its rocky. Didn't have that problem a lot.
I guess, but some like actual complaints about this team, and not just talking about Volcarona. Like not just talking about one mon, is that I think Seismitoad
Whoa,
is a
okay,
really
okay.
awkward fit on this team because he has a bunch of like the rest of his bulk is just a bunch of like slow fat shit, like with like Cress and Porygon and stuff. And
Yeah,
then it's just a Seismitoad, which also by virtue makes his team pretty knockoff weak. Like Seismitoad doesn't want its lefties knocked off, Cress doesn't want its get knocked off because obviously it's just gonna take 1,000,000%. Porygon doesn't want its Eviolite knocked off. Virizion
Yeah.
is kind of like not ideal getting knocked off.
Mm.
I mean Virizion is the switching I meant. Okay.
yeah.
Virizion is the
What-
anti of the switching.
what?
I'm
I
stupid
don't
there.
ideal.
Okay.
I don't. You don't want that justified boost, do you?
It's bad if you get +1 boost. What if you're special?
then you
Or if
take
you're running
more
special,
foul
you take
play,
a
which you
+1
could use
boost.
some more boosts.
Okay. I mean
Exactly.
obviously Aegislash doesn't get knocked off either. Volcarona doesn't want its boots or like specs or scarf or whatever item it is with Life Orb or leftovers knocked
Yeah.
off.
I feel like his defensive core is like really sort of passive.
Okay.
Like Cress and like P2 are like nice, but I feel like they could be abused by certain mons.
sorry for the break. Haz and Jeremy have been eliminated. They're finished. They're gone. They've died. They're no longer with us, so it's just Aggro and I. And we're still on number 8 with the El Paso Cincinos. And I believe we left off on saying this team didn't have great like knockoff switch-ins. I believe I cut Haz off mid-sentence, so screw you, Haz. You don't get to finish your sentence.
I think
Agonauts.
that's justified. That is
Yeah.
justified.
I think this team
Haz
is.
is a dictator.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, this team's kind of weird because it has like 2 fast offensive grass types, which just feels a bit redundant. I think like a more defensive fighting type or a more defensive fairy type could have been better. Like instead of both of the fast offensive
Yeah,
grasses.
Whimsical and Viridion aren't amazing together.
Yeah, Whimsicott just seems pretty unneeded on this team when you already have Mega Diancie and Virizion. And
In
he's relying on like Seismitoad and Zygarde as the only fire resists as well. And I guess Diancie, but pretty much every fire type gets Earthquake. So it's pretty bad.
yeah, the answer is not a fire type check.
It's offensively a check, but like defensively.
Offensively, it's fine, but not switching in.
I mean, even then, Zygarde really isn't a check either. Because the 10% variant.
It only has 10% of the stats of 100%. I believe how the mathematics works out.
No, it's not. It is literally faster than the 100% variant.
But no, it's very frail. It's not a good switching at all.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, this team is pretty solid. It's just like got a few issues with the removal, a few resistances, a few awkward picks with like the Whimsicott and the Seismitoad, but overall, it's pretty okay.
Yeah, it's decent.
Yeah, I think we're good to move on to the number 7, which is which is Nick. Why is that image there?
I believe he drafted Blastoise.
Okay.
Hence the picture of the Blastoise.
Okay, he has Darmanitan Golor. Como,
Color form.
yeah, Golor variant. Blastoise, Alakazam Mega, Zapdos, Kartana, Klefki, Gligar, Gothitelle, Indeedee, and Aromatisse. So with this team, it's like it's pretty scary offensively with like Darm, Como, Zam, Gothitelle, Indeedee, Kartana.
Especially with Klefki with, what's it called? Double screen support and spike support.
Yeah, to me, this team reminds me of like a better version of Jeff's team, where it's just gonna be like setting up screens and winning. But like I think the setup threats are a lot more threatening on this team with like Komoro, Blastoise, Belly Drum Darm, Calm Mind Zam, Swords Dance Kartana, Big Swords Dance, Big Double Dance Gligar. Even like Trick Room Nasty Plot Aromatisse has its matchups.
This is true.
So it's a pretty powerful team. It's just like kind of awkward defensively with the triple psychic. So it's like it's like really Ghost Weak. The only
as a result,
only Ghost
there is only Indeedee.
Yeah, like very like I could see a Scarf Gengar kind of destroying this team unless they're like Spadef Indeedee female, which is not an ideal set to bring, if I'm honest.
No. I think he obviously got Indeedee for the psychic terrain, which has been nerfed this generation. But
yeah, it's been nerfed, but I mean, obviously,
that's still very scary.
No priority versus Zam and Darm is very good because Darm's gonna be like wanna be
Yeah, that's
a
very
lot.
nice.
Zam is obviously like pretty physically feral, so like sucker punches and stuff is gonna be annoying, and even like bullet punches.
Yeah. One thing I don't like about the team is the speed tiers. They're a bit.
Yeah.
It goes from Megazam to Kartana, which is 41 points of speed.
Yeah, it's
between
kind
them.
of it's a good bit. It's a good bit. It's pretty much like it works out to where Kartana is the fastest mod on this team in terms of speed tiers. Because like Zam,
something in between would be nice.
Even just like an Azelf. Well, not an Azelf on this team, but like something around that speed tier, like a 115, like a Swellow or something would be cool.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it's not ideal, obviously. Something to note is that Blastoise can use Shell Smash and Komoro can use Clinger Soul. So those two have some pretty good setup options as well. I mean, Komoro obviously had good setup options before, but maybe behind screens,
Yeah,
Blastoise could get 2 smashes up. Could be pretty scary.
I
Uh,
think he's got decent hazards as well. He's
mhm.
got Gligar, Komodo for his rockers.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
just
between
this. Oh yeah, Gligar, Como, think that's it. But between the two,
yeah, and you
one of them is
Clefty
always going to be able to
spikes.
get it up. But I think he's
Yeah,
kind of pressured to bring Darm, Komoro, Zam, Klefki pretty much every game. And then
for his yeah,
probably,
he has to bring his offense every time.
yeah. And he's probably gonna want to bring Cortana, Zapdos a lot, and Blastoise a good bit. So it's like, I don't know, the Gothitelle, Romertis, and Didi picks just look kind of weird to me. I don't ever see them fitting on the team composition he's gonna want to bring. To me, like
Yeah,
it just feels weird to bring Indeedee and Zam to the same game. Even if you're setting up terrain for the Zam, it's like the same role filled. And then like Gothitelle, I guess it's trapping psychics for Zam, and that's okay.
it's just trapping in it's trapping in general.
Yeah, it's just trapping, but I
It
mean,
can remove like everything that's not a dark type, really, or a bug type,
or
or
ghost
ghost.
type.
The weaknesses, obviously.
Good observation, Agma.
Good analysis. Thank you very much,
To
actually.
be fair, he does have dark types pretty well checked with like Como, Klefki, Aromatisse, so it's not that bad, but other than those, he is pretty dark weak. And I already said I don't see Aromatisse coming that many games, so it's like just Como, Klefki, neither have recovery. Eh. And
Yeah,
it's like knockoff looks pretty free versus this team. Because obviously knocking off Klefki's leftovers or Como's like throat spray or whatever item it is really good.
yeah.
But like I mean this team's I think it's probably the most scary offensively. So it kind of just brought it up almost just by
Yeah,
virtue of that.
it yeah, we whoever can like kill each other first with this team
Mhm.
because
Pretty
the
much.
offense will
Like
yeah
and honestly it looks like this team's going to be able to just out offense any other team. So, if that's what
probably
he's trying to play, then I think it'll work out well. There's still some holes in the team though. But I think we're good
in
to move on to number 6. Do
number 6. Okay, I will read
the
that out.
the suburban slowpokes and on D jaw. Good thing
The
we did not
suburban
have Jeremy
slowpokes.
here, or else our our ears would probably be deleted.
So he's got Morwile Mega, Ferrothorn, Victini, Reuniclus, Dragonite, Manaphy, Grimmsnarl, Thundurus Therian, Dugtrio, Buzzwole, and Nihilego.
So, I mean, this is also kind of another dual screens team, kind of with the Grimmsnarl, but I think it has a lot more versatility than that.
Yeah, it doesn't
Like,
have to be that only.
I will say Ferrothorn Megamon looks kind of weird, but he has a ton of fire resist in the back to like fix that with the Victini, Dragonite, Manaphy, Nihilego. So like it's fine. And even
Yeah,
Dugtrio can trap fire type, so it's not even that big a deal. Um, there's also Buzzwole that's weak, but it's okay. Um,
I
because
like
seeing
the last two picks, Buzzwole and Nihilego.
yeah, those were good picks. It's a good flying resist for him as well, because relying on Ferrothorn for that is terrible. And Thunderous.
And it's a good ground resist with Buzzwole, because otherwise it would have been a
Mm-hmm.
quite
Quite a ground
ground
weak
weak.
team. Would have been just Dragonite and Thundy. Which on the topic of Dragonite and Thundy, that is his only removal. So I think that's the main issue
Downside
with
to the
this team,
team.
I think. Yeah. I mean, speeches are fine. They go Dugtrio to Nihilego. Would be better if there's something in between there, but it's not the biggest deal. Then it goes to Thundy, then to obviously Victini Manaphy, and then
Yeah,
down to like what? Actually, there's a pretty decent gap.
Dragonite,
Yeah, it's a pretty decent gap from 100 to I think 81. That Dragonite is. It might be 80, something like
80,
that.
80.
80. Okay, it's Gyarados. That's 81. That's right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I knew it was one of those two. I mean, to be fair, that's a pretty decent gap. And then it goes down to like what? Grimmsnarl? Buzzwole.
Buzzwole and Grimmsnarl, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's not bad. That's fine.
I think D Knight's gonna be very good this generation with
With boots and hidden power gun.
boots and multi scale. It gets a 3 DD every
I
every
could
week.
also see defensive Dragonite being pretty good on this type of draft, with it being one of the only two removals, one of the best fire resists on the team, one of the best ground resists on the team, and all that. I think it can be a pretty good.
Yeah,
It can be a pretty good defensive mon now as well. Same with Manaphy.
yeah,
Manaphy losing Z-moves would sound kind of bad for it, but it can still run resist berries and it can still run defensive sets and calm mind sets, so it's still good.
yeah.
But yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
Doug Trio Mega Mall is quite nice as well for
mhm.
trapping the ground types.
Trapping ground types. You mean steel
The
types?
steel types. I do mean the steel
Trapping
types.
steel and fire types are more else really ridiculous, honestly.
And for Ferrothorn as well.
Yeah,
Fire types, obviously.
yeah. And like, I mean, Ferrothorn, I think it's gonna be pretty good Spiker this gen, and I think Spikes is really good for the type of team that's built here, with like Mawile, Victini, Nicholas Dragonite. I think he really abused the addition of heavy duty boots and the deletion of Pursuit with Victini and like
Pursuit.
Dragonite
Exactly.
and Reuniclus. I think those three are really, really good this gen. I think they were great picks and kind of like honestly, I can see Victini and Dragonite later in the generation being like round one, round two picks. So I think getting them round three and five is very good. Like it's very good
I
value for.
agree, for sure.
And obviously Grimmsnarl's pretty reliable at getting screens up because it's also Prankster. And all these setup threats under screens is pretty scary. Like Thunderous, Mawile, Victini. I guess Victini, I think it gets Calm Mind. I think I'm wrong, but the
I
more
don't
I
think it
think,
does.
it might. I don't think it does though. It gets Work Up, I know. Work Up Victini is broken. Reuniclus, Dragonite, Manaphy, Thunderous. I suppose Buzzwole as well with like Bulk Up, but it's not really abusing screens that much.
Yeah. He's got good hazards as well. He's got tons of stealth rockers and spikers and toxic spikes, which is very good. But again, maybe a rapid spinner would have worked a bit better, especially with the extra removal and being able to keep your spikes up and toxic
Yeah, I
spikes.
mean, I do agree with that, but I don't know what I would replace on this team, if
Yeah,
I'm honest.
this is very true.
Like, I would say Buzzwole, but the fighting type is really good.
And the
And the ground resist.
ground resist, that word.
Yeah. It's like it's hard to think of what I would replace on this team. It is kind of unfortunate that he doesn't have
Yeah,
great removal, but even then the team's still good.
for
Removal isn't
sure.
everything, because he can also pressure opponents to defog, because he has really good hazard game himself.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think overall this is one of the better, like obviously it's one of the better teams because it's number 6, but it's one of the more like well thought out teams to me.
yeah, I do
Big
like
fan.
it a lot.
Big fan of T-Chaw. Okay,
On Jar.
we can move on to the number 5, which is the Sky Pillar Mystic. You can't see the number 5 because there is a Barraskewda up there for some reason.
Mr. Barrascuda is
He's in the way.
propelling on his way.
He's propelling himself forward up to the number 5 ranking. Yes. So we got Melmetal, Venusaur, Rotomoss, Silvally, Arcanine, Barraskewda, Weezing, Golor, Umbreon, Azelf, Runerigus, Lycan, Rakdos. So like this team, I remember looking at this team and thinking it's just like really good balance.
Yeah,
It's really good balance and it still has offensive threats and like Melmetal, Barraskewda, Silvally, Azelf, Lycanroc, even Azelf, Arcanine, and sometimes even like Venusaur and Rotom can be offensive. So it's like it's really solid overall.
yeah, I like the first three picks,
Yeah, they cover
like
each other
defensively and
really, really well.
offensively.
Yeah, they all
They
have
do.
good offensive variants, all good defensive variants. It's good. And this team, even with like Rotom, Melmetal, Silvally, Weezing, it also has a really reliable Whispaster and Umbreon and
Yeah,
Runerigus. The main drawback of this team is it's pressure to bring Runerigus almost every week for rocks
the
because
South Rocks. Yes.
Azelf and Lycanroc are the only two other ones. And either of those won't have a good matchup and won't come. Although I do think Azelf is very, very, very good without Pursuit. And the fact that it has fire coverage when Hidden Power was deleted. I
Yeah,
think it's very good, but it's also by virtue not going to want to run rocks because it's going to be more offensive now.
you kind of have to put focus sash on it to actually get the rocks up reliably.
Yeah.
Same with Lycan rock; they're really frail, so
Hmm. But
you're losing
to
out.
be honest, Runerigus is a pretty reliable electric check and pretty reliable like Mon in general. It's also a T-Spiker, which is useful for this team. He also has Wheezing for that, obviously, but I think
Yeah,
it's good. I think it's a reliable rocker. It's not the worst thing that is gonna come most weeks,
no,
especially because there's an Umbreon to back it up as well, so it's not bad.
and the fighting immunity is very nice as well,
Hmm. For the
and the
Melmetal.
normal immunity. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I think one other thing, he doesn't really have much special offense. He's only really got Azelf and Rotom, and I guess Venusaur.
Yeah,
But
that's kind of an issue. I suppose Savali can be special sometimes, and so can Arcanine. But that's not great. I do
yeah,
agree with that. Yeah. I mean, As Elf Venusaur Rotom, that's probably okay still. It's just not really like a straight up like dedicated breaker, especially is the main thing.
I like his Barraskewda pick though because
Yeah,
the speed is very good.
it forces stuff like Megazam, Zero Aura, all of those to run Adamant, which is really cool. And
Try and Jolly, not
True
Adamant.
and Jolly, yeah, or Jolly
Jolly
or
timid,
Timid,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And even then, say like he's versus a Megalop or a Megamanectric. I don't think they got drafted, but I mean they're still in free agency, so they could get
And
picked up. It
yeah,
just outspeeds, and I think it nearly OHKOs both with like close combat on the Lop and drill run on the Manectric. Maybe if it's intimidated, probably doesn't kill Manectric, but it's a really good pick. 136 speed too is pretty ridiculous. So
yeah.
I like it. But I
As
mean,
he's got, I think his defogging option is really good as well.
yeah, it's what like Rotom, Sovali, Weezing. That's gonna be able to defog every game.
Yeah, and especially with the boost to what's it called, Silvali's move, multi attack. I think it's definitely become much more less passive. Because before when you like attack does like 30%, now it's gonna be doing like 40 to 50, two-shotting most uninvested things, which
Oh
is
yeah,
very good.
Sovali's very, very good now. Having used it in RU, I'm using like an offensive sword chance set, and it kind of just sweeps every game.
No,
Like it
exactly.
just OHKOs like everything. Like 120 stab move is equivalent to using a non-stab Z move every turn. It's 180 base power. Like that's so strong.
Yeah,
And there's no drawback as well, and it can be any type. It's so good.
I do like it on the team.
Yeah, I like it on the team, and I like it, and I love it as a mon in general now.
I think one another criticism, not a bad thing, but a fighting type would have been nice to break steals a bit better. But I
Yeah.
mean, Savali can become a fighting type, but steel types are Melmetal and Venusaur,
Eh.
and I guess
Doesn't
Azoff a
don't they
bit.
both kind of beat most steel types either way? Like Venusaur just earth powers, Melmetal just earthquakes. It's just like it's Scizor, but then there's an Arcanine for the
Like
Scizors. So
Scizor, I guess. Okay,
I don't think it's that bad because Melmetal and Venusaur can 1v1 most of them, and Rotom Wash can beat a lot of them since they don't have recovery or they're a flying type, so they have roost.
fair enough.
It's just like Scizor, that's the outlier, I think.
Yeah,
Or like Ferrothorn, but I mean Ferrothorn, you can bring like Sovali Fire with a defog, and that's a good check.
yeah. Okay.
Also big wheezing with the Fire Blast. Wheeze
Wheeze and
wheeze.
Golor form,
And go Lord,
indeed.
Mr. Wheeze. Okay, we can move on to the number 4 now, in my opinion. It's a
I
good
agree.
team with the Texan Trappers and the Hunter Z. I believe it
The
is your
Hunter
turn.
Z.
I believe it is your turn
It
to
is
say
my
the
turn.
team.
It is my turn. He
That's
has a Tapu
crazy.
Koko, Dracofish, Tangrowth, Latias, Gastrodon, Howlucha, Incineroar, Mamoswine, Blissey, Mismagius, and Agron Mega Agronauts himself.
Mega Agronauts himself. Oh my goodness. That probably explains the number 4 spot.
Indeed.
But like, I mean, the only like the one main issue with this team is that Coco kind of got fucked this gen. Coco's kind of like pretty mediocre now with the terrain nerf, no Z moves, no hidden power, and it defogs its own terrain now as well. It's like
Yeah.
It's
It doesn't
annoying,
really.
but I think it's
I
a
think I feel like
great
you have to run physical sets now to actually do damage.
maybe. But I
Cause
think
like
I feel like it's a
yeah,
great enabler to Dracovish though, like with U-turn, and also Dracovish breaks really well for Coco to be able to
yeah,
potentially sweep.
it
So I
kills all
think it,
the its ground types, which
yeah,
is
and even
nice.
then it breaks a lot of grass types as well with Fishes.
Yeah.
So I think
Fisher's Run doesn't have a switch in
that's a
unless they're
very
water
good
absorb.
combination. And then the defensive core of like Tangrowth, Gashadon, Blissey, Aggron is very solid. And there's also a Halucha, Coco Lucha's. I mean, it's a classic at this point. Everyone's run it. Everyone's seen it. So it's like it's just gonna click Swords
Yeah,
Dance and sweep. So it's really good. And then
and
there's also
Lucia
like
can set itself up now with close combat
yeah, it doesn't even
instead of
rely on Coco now, which is really nice. It just loses out on the defense boost,
the defense boost. Yeah,
which is like pretty useful in a lot of matchups, honestly.
yeah,
But Incineroar, Mamoswine, Latias are also pretty annoying to prep for. So I think those are all great picks as well. It's just like gonna be really annoying for teams to kill Tangrowth, Gastrodon, Blissey, Aggron. And even
yeah. I
then you
think
can add in
Aggron's supported really well.
yeah, definitely. It's a good mix
I
of
guess,
offense and bulk.
yeah,
The only like kind of weird thing I would say is that there's two dragons, but that doesn't even seem like a big deal.
no, yeah. You're
Like
not
two
really using
dragons
Drake.
isn't even a bad
Yeah,
thing. Yeah. I mean, I will say the only fairy resist is Aggron, but honestly, Tangrowth can check any physical fairy type in the game, and Blissey can check any special fairy type in the game. So it's like, it doesn't really matter
yeah.
because they're both just,
Aggron can take most fairies on it anyway.
yeah, Aggron can take pretty much any fairy on either way as well. So like, I mean, just because of how insanely bulky Tangrowth and Blissey are in their respective sides, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I think his stealth rock options are was it Mamo, Blissey, and Aggron. You can definitely that's definitely fine.
And
Between Aggron and Mamo,
according to Mikeman WBA, also Tangrowth.
Tangrowth does learn stealth rocks in Generation 9. It's not been revealed yet.
Oh, yeah, yeah. My dad works for Nintendo.
So
But
does
yeah,
my
no.
dad.
Mamoswine, Blissey, Aggron is always going to be able to get them up. Those are three reliable options. I like that you can play kind of either like a more tanky role with this team or like a more
Yeah,
hyper offensive role. It's really nice. It's like got two different modes, so you kind of have to prep for two different team styles, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty
and
unique team. I
Coco
like it.
with dual screens is very nice as well.
Oh, yeah,
Dual screen U-turn.
dual screens Coco can also be a great enabler to stuff like Calm Mind Latias, Swords Dance Lucha, Nasty Plot Mismag, Big
Yeah,
Curse Mamoswine,
big mama. So
Big Mamoswine. But yeah, I mean, there's really not that many huge issues with this team, just because of how solid the defense is. It's kind of hard to find like
yeah,
outlying issues with the like with like resistances and stuff. I guess like the one thing is it's kind of relying on its offensive mons to resist fighting with like Lucha, Coco, but even then Latias has good defensive stats, so it's not that bad. Especially also Pursuit was deleted, so I think it's a lot more viable of a Wisp passer, so you can run it more
yeah.
defensive.
I mean, you could. There'll be niche matchups where you can run like Rocky Helmet, Lucha, if you really want for a fighting type. It's like
I wonder
it's.
where you got that idea from.
I
Perhaps
actually, nah.
perhaps from the
I used that set back 5 years ago when Lucha was revealed. Actually,
perhaps in the DGBA Speed Boost Week 1 games you got that idea, perhaps?
per chance.
Perchance. But also, yeah, I mean, and Sinnoh is also very good with heavy duty boots and parting shot now. It was already really solid, but I like it a lot on this team as well. It's another U-turner that can enable the offensive stats, so it's good.
Yeah,
The one thing is I kind of wish there was a bit more pivots, like one or two more U-turners would have been cool, but it's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah, especially when you've got a Dracovish. Being like a slow U-turn, bringing Dracovish in is
Yeah,
very nice for it.
it's kind of like a Hoopa U in that sense.
Yeah,
Or
just
it's
like
just
a
gonna
one-turn
it's
and
just
nuke.
gonna start nuke, yeah. But yeah, I think this team's very solid overall. I think we're
Uh-huh.
good to move on to the number 3, which is the Wellington
Just
Ho-Oh and Tezzy, and obviously this team has a Mr. Rhyme, so it was kind of robbed from the number 1 spot.
tap tap.
He is tapping, my lord, he is
Look
tapping.
at him go! Look at him
Look
go!
at him
Tap
go,
tap
look
tap.
at him go. Oh my lord.
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable beast. Wait, I forgot to play the tap music. Oh, this is so sad.
Oh no,
Oh no.
Mr. Mime can't. Mr. Mime will dance without the music.
He can dance without the music. It's okay. It's
He's
okay.
always dancing.
Always going, always going. But it's a team of Hydreigon, Tornadus Therian, Jirachi, Primarina, Rotom Heat, Beedrill Omega, Mr. Rhyme, Mian Shao, Rhyperior, Decidueye, and Big Greedent.
Greedent. Strong pocket monster at the end there.
Strong pocket monster at the end there. The top 5 Mons all got really good buffs. Um, I think with Hydreigon,
Yeah,
obviously with Dragon Dance, Nasty Plot, Tauren with Boots, Jirachi with, I believe we got Aura Sphere and a couple other cool options.
and there's no pursuit as well.
No Pursuit, so it's a more viable Wisp Passer too. Um, Primarina got Calm Mind and Big Sing Blunder Policy. That's the most powerful set.
Sing blunder plot.
That's a
Strong.
powerful set. And then Rotom Heat got Nasty Plot and Heavy Duty Boots, so that's broken. It's not broken, but it's just very, very solid. Um,
Honestly, you can bring the top 6 every week and not have like a problem against most
yeah,
teams.
yeah, honestly. And then like there's a lot of good options at the bottom here, like Mr. Rhyme can be a good spinner, and honestly it can be a good deal dance sweeper with spin plus nasty
Bro,
plot.
rapid spin nasty plot, Jill dance.
Powerful,
Very
powerful.
good. Very good.
Mian Chao's a very, very, very valuable Scarfer if you don't want to bring Hydreigon or Jirachi or Rotom. There's a lot of viable Scarfers on this team that I also like that. And Mian Chao can
Yeah.
also just bring Band and nuke everything with high jump kick. Rhyperior is a good rocker. Decidueye is a good pivot with like, it's also a good like fighting immunity and stuff, which is pretty useful for this team. And then Greedent, I think Greedent is getting FA'd for Diggersby unfortunately, but it's
This is
okay.
very sad.
Greedent's just a big lad. He's a big boy. He doesn't
And
really
it is
accomplish much, but he is sure is large.
very chunky.
Very junk.
I mean, obviously this team has lots of momentum, which is really nice.
Yeah,
'Cause you're,
it's just
it's
offense.
like, yeah,
It's like 90% Volt Turn. Like what? There's Hydreigon, Torn, Jirachi, Rotom,
Beedrill,
Beedrill,
Mian Shao,
Mienshao, Decidueye.
Decidueye, and then Diggersby when he gets it.
Does Greedent get U-turn? I think it might get
Um,
U-turn. I don't know.
I believe he is too large to make a U-turn.
He is too large. Bet you too junk. But he can Swords Dance. So I don't know.
Greedent, the move U-turn is illegal on Greedent.
On the Greedent Pocket Monster. Unfortunate. Maybe Mr. Rhyme gets the teleport. He can teleport around.
Mr. Rhyme brings this team together, in my opinion. Every
I
other
agree.
Pokemon is irrelevant.
I agree, yeah. If honestly, if a team just drafted Mr. Rhyme, it would be number 3. Like immediately. Just because he's just tapping.
Look at him go, tap tap tap, bang.
Mr. Rhyme goes to holiday, is all I have to
And
say.
even if he's tired, Mr. Rhyme just slacks off, and he becomes not tired anymore.
He replenishes the health points. What a
Indeed.
powerful man. Look at the shiny one go too, he's in the corner. Oh my lord.
Surprise shiny Mr. Rhyme.
Oh my god, guys, you gotta catch it. Get the A-Drive intro back. That went so bad. Okay. But yeah, this team is pretty solid. I don't think we mentioned the hazards, but the hazards are Jirachi, Rhyperior, which can kind of always get they can always get the rocks up. It's pretty solid.
Yeah,
Like
and I think
Jirachi, It's just a really reliable steel type, which I think is nice to have with Hydreigon and Torn. One thing um I will say it is a bit. Wait, where was I going with that? I almost said it didn't have a fairy type because I forgot the Primarina.
Primarina is a fairy type.
Nope, I disagree. Mr. Rhyme can probably become a fairy type if he needs to in the certain matchup
In a past life, he was fairy type.
in a past life.
He's been
Just
reincarnated as Tap Tap.
just de-evolve into the Mime Junior variant.
Indeed, if you need some fairy stab, de-evolve.
Yes, big rhyme, big rhyme. But yeah, no, it's a very solid team. I think we're good to move on to the number 2 Pocket Monster team.
Yes.
It is the Los Angeles Charizards. Is it my turn to say it, or is it your turn? I think it's your turn.
It is my turn. He has a Kyurem, a Corviknight, Greninja, Nidoqueen, Gengar, Azumarill, Dhelmise, Miltank, Heliolisk, and Medicham Mega as the final pick.
Medicham Mega at the final pick. Interesting. It's very interesting.
Very interesting,
But
actually.
this team is just very solid and very well built. Like Mew, Kyurem, Corviknight, Grin, Nidoqueen, Gengar, you can honestly bring that 6 versus like any team and probably be fine. Like you
Yeah,
don't even need the rest of the picks. But then there's still some really good supportive options. Like the team on paper doesn't look that physically offensive, but having a Azumarill and Medicham forces people to prep physical like walls just because there's those two giant threats physically.
yeah. If he didn't draft Azumarill or Medicham, this team would be a lot. I mean,
I think it would be a lot lower, honestly.
yeah, they saved the team because they just have so much of a presence.
Yeah. It's, I mean,
It
it is
forces a lot of prep.
probably not ideal to have Delmise over Decidueye on this team. Um, but it's still fine. Like Decidueye was on the board, and I think it was probably a better option, or maybe just a ghost type, or like a grass type that isn't part ghost, because there's already Gengar. But that's fine because Gengar is pretty broken, so it's
Yeah,
okay.
without pursuit, it's very nice.
And the big and nasty plot.
One thing that is a bit weird is I don't know how much I like Mew with when you have Medicham and Gengar because they're kind of Mew, they kind of are Mew but a different Pokemon. Like, offensively, at least, that's what I mean.
Yeah, they're gonna kind of force Mew to be defensive, but even then, that's fine because like Spikes, T-Spikes, even though he has those covered in Greninja Nidoqueen, Mew is also extremely reliable at doing that. So having like 3 reliable Spikers is really
Yeah,
good. I also really like the Miltank pick on this team for like a solid fire resist. It kind of fills in the bulky water role because he has 2 offensive waters, being a fire and
yeah,
mass
with the
resist.
fire resist.
So I think that's
Yeah,
nice. And like it's a good rocker as well. The rocks are like Mew, Nidoqueen, Miltank, which is very reliable in my
yeah,
opinion.
they can go up every week.
Yeah, they will be on the field every week, in my
I
opinion.
think Kyurem is also going to be very good now with like all the buffs it's got.
Yeah,
I,
Freeze Dry and Dragon Dance are pretty ridiculous. And Icicle Spear as well.
yeah,
Like, honestly, I think if it got Earthquake, it probably would be banned. Because then
yeah.
that would make the.
Steel types are the only. Or you have
Yeah,
to like a
I
really
mean, it still
bulky
has
steel
Earth
type.
power. I'm just saying if the physical sets could run fully physical, I think
Fully
it would be
physical,
pretty
yeah.
broken. Um, but yeah, I mean, Heliolisk as a second normal type is fine because this team isn't fighting weak, really, with Kyurem. Well, it is a bit with like Kyurem, Grin,
You got Mew.
Heliolisk,
I mean,
Miltank, but there's like Mew, Corviknight, Nidoqueen, Gengar,
the
Azu, Dhelmise,
Dhelmise.
Medicham. Like any mon that isn't weak to fighting on this team is either a Corviknight
Resist.
or resists it.
Yeah,
So it's fine, yeah.
I think it's one of the better electric types because it can actually hit ground types with Surf. So
Yeah, Surf, Hyper Voice, I believe Grass Knot as well. Think so.
yeah, I think so.
Also it has like some niche abilities it can run if you're running some cheese weather. So it's cool. It's a cool mon. It gets a U-turn as
Yeah,
well, which is very big
indeed.
for electric types. But yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
he's got really good defense as well as his offense. Like Corviknight, Nidoqueen, and
Mew,
Mew are really solid together.
Miltank, Dhelmise as well.
Exactly. Like there's not much you can fault on the team.
hmm The speed tiers are good as well, like Greninja, Gengar, Heliolisk, Medicham, Mew, Kyurem, then
It might be a
Nidoqueen.
bit too fast. I mean, you've got Delmise at the very end.
Yeah, then Nidoqueen, then like Corviknight, Dhelmise,
Ours,
Azu.
yeah,
Or, I think Azu's faster than Dhelmise, but
yeah.
same thing. They're both like 50 to 40, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I mean,
So I like it.
there's not many
Right.
faults on the team. It's very good. Very solid pocket monsters in my opinion.
I am in agreement.
Good, that's fantastic. Okay, so we can move on to the number one team, which is the DKK and the New York Glades. He has Mega
What is that?
Scizor.
What is that at the bottom dancing
Hmm,
around?
I don't know. Mega Scizor, Landorus Therian, Deoxys Defense, Infernape, Vaporeon, Superior, Togekiss, Dracozolt, Mr. Mime Golem, Hoopa Unbound, and Araquanid. So, Mega Scizor is honestly pretty busted and probably could have been banned.
It's borderline ban worthy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty busted. Lando T is pretty ridiculous as well, especially for round two. I don't know what Swarm was
For
doing.
round two, exactly.
It was like middle of round two as well. I don't know what the hell they were doing. It's a free draft, so you don't even have to be like, oh, I don't want to get two tier ones or something. And like Deoxys Defense is pretty underwhelming if you've used it, but it's still good. And Fernape is very solid. Vaporeon's just a reliable Wispasser for like Scizor and Lando and Infernape and stuff.
Yeah.
Serp, I think Serp is the one bad pick. The one bad pick on this
Yeah.
team.
What he drafted Whimsicott originally, which I think would have worked like infinitely better than Superior here.
If anything, I think
But
Sceptile would have worked best because he already has a fairy type in Togekiss. And like
yeah,
Sceptile would
I
just
mean,
would have been faster and it gets coverage for steel type, so
it retains the speed, which is very nice, which you need because Superior is the fastest mon currently.
yeah, that's the one issue with this team, like really. And then
So I mean, Sceptile will kind of fix that.
yeah, I honestly, if I was DKK, I'd drop Serp for Sceptile. It looks weird
'Cause
just because like of how other gens have been, but I think Serp is a better, Sceptile's a better fit on this team. I'm not saying
I mean,
Sceptile's objectively better though, but yeah.
the other thing Serp gets over it is glare, really.
And like contrary Leaf Storm.
Yeah. Spamming leaf grass attacks only.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't. He's got decent defogging options in Scizor, Lando,
hmm
Togekiss, and Mr. Mime, Golor can rapid spin.
Yeah. Togekiss is good. It's a reliable fairy type. I guess Boots probably helps it a decent bit, so it's a nice pick.
Yeah,
Dracozolt I think is one of the better electric types left,
I think
honestly.
it's been really undervalued at round 8. Like it should have gone.
Like round
People are
four,
sleeping
round
on it.
five. Yeah,
It's
I think
it's really bulky for what it is, and
it's really bulky,
if
it's
you're
really
going first, you're
strong.
doing a lot of damage.
Even if you're not going first, it's still hustle 100 attack, so it's still a choice band 100 attack. That's like
I mean,
Zygarde 50. That's banded Zygarde power without a boot, like without an item. So I mean, that's pretty good.
and then Dragon Electric's really nice
Yeah,
defensively as well.
Mr. Mime is a very reliable rapid spinner with its speed tier. Also freeze dry has a lot of good utility in like Thunder Wave, Foul Play, Fake Out, all of that. It's pretty solid. Hoopa Unbound, I mean it's pretty ridiculous when you have like a Scizor and a Lando and an Infernape to pivot into it.
Yeah, he's got
Araquanid,
nice pivoting.
Araquanid is good for webs. It patches up the speed a tiny bit, but there's a lot of removal. There's heavy duty boots, so
I
like
could see he could drop Arachnid for something else as well because
maybe
it's not because he's got a Vaporeon already. The only thing Arachnid does put webs up really.
it's another breaker as well, so it's not bad. I think it's a fine pick. It's the original Dracovish, let's be real.
Dracovic version 1.
Version 1, yeah. But
I think one other thing, as we can see, Mr. Mime is currently carrying the whole team
yeah, he's
on his
currently
back.
has it on his back. He's currently tapping along at the bottom there. Although I don't know,
Uh,
see, to me, Mr. Mime's tapping is not as satisfying as Mr. Rhymes. I'm gonna go back to Mr. Rhymes slide for a bit. Mr. Mime, he doesn't. You can tell he's a bit younger lad. He's
he
pretty
is juvenile.
inexperienced. Yeah, pretty
He's
inexperienced
not an
tapper,
experienced tapper.
but if you see Mr. Mime, he's got it completely figured out. Like he's got it down. Look at him
Mr.
go.
Rhymes he's got the hand actions as well. He's moving his hand back and forth.
Yeah, he's got his
He's,
cane, his ice cane. Oh my goodness. Like
he's
Mr. Mime
putting his
doesn't
whole
even
he's
have a
putting his whole body into it.
doesn't even have a cane yet. Doesn't even have a bowler hat. Like, come on. It's unfortunate. He does have a nice suit. I will say his suit and tie looks pretty nice. Looking pretty dapper there.
Indeed.
Indeed. But I guess sort of a thing with this team is it's like a tiny bit ice weak with like Draco's Holt, Lando, Serp, but Togekiss. But I mean, there's like Mr. Mime, Vaporeon,
And
Scizor,
Araquanid.
Araquanid. It's like it's fine,
Yeah,
but it's just like it's a tiny thing I noticed.
yeah.
But yeah, I
It'll be
think
annoying if you bring all of them to a game and then you've only got like 2 ice resists. That's something
yeah,
to look out for.
yeah, that's the main thing. Because I could definitely see those all coming to a game, and it's like the one issue. So
Yeah.
I think that's all we have to say for DKK's team. So to recap the list, we have uh Dark Soul. We have Dark Soul at 16, Ball at 15, Jeff at 14. I just noticed what someone put on Slaps.
Slap is 17th.
Slap is actually 17th, but we'll say he's 13th for now. Big Photon at 12 with the copper jaw. Killer at
Big
11,
Copper.
the German Genesex at 10. Powerful loco.
Tata. Uh-huh.
Data. Yeah, that's data. I'm just calling him German Genesex from now on though. Peyton at 9, Asha at 8, Nick at 7, Djaw at 6, um, and then at
Logan.
Logan at Barrascuda, Hunter Z at 4, Tappy 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 Tap at 3, or
Tappy
also
Tezzy.
known as Tappy Tazzy. Yeah, Tappy Tazzy.
Tappy Tezzy at 3.
Tappy Tazzy at 3, Ishan at 2, and then Mr. Mime at 1, also known as DKK, but it's Mr. Mime's better, in my opinion.
Mr. Mime Go Law Form.
Go lore. So I think that is all for this video. Thank you for watching if you watched, and also, Agronauts sucks, in my opinion.
No, no.